Judge Law, and we are going to commence with the Fulton State Orca calendar. This is a list of misdemeanor cases which have been accused. Bonds have been set. Most of the individuals have been released on bond. And these are cases which have been pending for a significant period of time, during which we are going to address to see how the cases are going to move forward. If you are a defendant who's appeared in court either through counsel or self-represented, or if you're appearing on Zoom, I would like to remind you that you have a right to remain silent about the facts of the case. Any comments that you make about the facts of the case during this hybrid court proceeding that's not only recorded but live streamed, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one would be appointed to represent you. If you are present here today, either via Zoom or in person, we do have public defense counsel in the courtroom at 160 Prior Street in courtroom G33. Let me see. Not sure if we have one on Zoom, but we do have them in the courtroom if you want to to speak with them and see if you qualify. All right, let me go ahead and start with the Orca A calendar. Orca A calendar motions. I have Jordan, Michelle, Randall.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Ms. Mulder.
State did tender a null pros on that case. I believe it was submitted yesterday. I'm not sure if it had been signed yet.
Did I sign it? I signed tons of stuff yesterday, so I do apologize in that. We'll check on that. If I haven't, then I'll look at it today. So this is null pros? Okay, so I gather Jordan Randall's not in the court or in here. Okay, thank you. Orca A final plea calendar for 9 a.m. If you hear your name called, if you are in person, please stand up and say loudly that you're present. If you're on Zoom, please make sure you unmute and let me know that you're present. Tawaski Anderson, Tawaski.
Good morning, Judge. She's present. That is my case. I'd like to talk to the state about it. That's one of the cases that I picked up during my transition right before I went out on my surgery. So I just need to speak with the state and Mr. Anderson about the case.
With whom will he be speaking?
Good morning, Your Honor. Sarita Githier.
Oh, Ms. Githier. Okay, sorry. I was looking at all the P's in the courtroom. All right. Mr. Gator will be with Ms. Githier, and you have a number or?
I have her number.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Judge.
Simone Harrison Ashley. Yes, Mr. Horn, good morning.
Judge, Ms. Ashley was my case. I spoke with her yesterday. I expect her to be here. This will be a negotiated plea, but I need her to
All right.
here and go over the paperwork.
All right. If you have a number, that this would be a good time to let her know she needs to be here in person. Okay.
As soon as I answer the rest of the calendar, I will.
All right. Miss Ashley, are you on Zoom? Sorry.
I had told her to be here in person.
All right. Carnegie Judy with a J-E-U-D-Y. J-E-U-D-Y. Someone's coming in into the courtroom. Do you know if that's your client, Mr. Corn? Are you Simone Ashley? Right on the button. Thank you. All right. Ms. Githier, is that your case?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
All right, Miss Ashley, take your hat off. Thank you. So we have position number 2 for a possible plea. Is that correct, Mr. Corn?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Carnegie Judy, J-E-U-D-Y. Not present.
The state will request a bench warrant, Your Honor.
All right, we'll wait till the end of the calendar. I have attorney Brandon Rosenblum. Derek May, Mr. Corn.
Mr. May is here. That's my case.
And how are we proceeding?
We have a negotiated plea this
All
morning.
right.
I'm gonna go over the paperwork.
All right, excellent. Thank you. Brandon McCory.
Judge, my client's here. We're ready to plead.
Okay, thank you. Do you have the paperwork, sir? All filled out and everything?
We've sent it with data and
Oh, it's here. Okay, got it. Thank you. Gregory Wasley.
Good morning, Your Honor. That's my case.
All right, Ms. Miller, and
Are still negotiating with the state. We are requesting that that be placed on a trial calendar.
all right. Mr. Wasis is going to move forward to a jury trial.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we're going to issue a case management order today. And we will see you at trial. You're free to go. Thank you. Do you need anything from the attorney, Ms. Brennan? All right, we're good. Thank you. Charles Waters. Charles Waters. Charles Waters not present.
The state will request a bench warrant if he doesn't appear at the end of the calendar.
And Anthony Wilford Wilburn. Anthony Wilford Wilburn, Mr. Corn.
That's my case, Your Honor. I heard from him late last night indicating he would accept the state's offer, but I have not heard from him yet this morning.
All right, we'll wait for him to appear. Jacqueline Woodard, in that case, is a Jacqueline Woodard, that case was just null crossed. So that's your case, Mr. Corn?
It is.
All right, just sign the null cross the order.
Thank you.
All right, that was the Orca A final plea calendar and Mr. McCrory, I'll be taking up your plea first, okay? Your client's plea first. So just give me a moment. All right. Okay, that one's good too. I have an Orca B calendar for motions and it's Taylor Carter.
You know, that's my case. I have a note saying she was supposed to be here in person. Not here. I think we had that worked out, but I'll have to call her. I've got a number.
Okay, she's not present at the moment. Ms. Waldrop, we'll just hold off and see what happens by the end of these calendars, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. McCrory, sir, if you'd like to come forward with your client, you would need to come to this podium right here. This is position number 5 on the Orca A final plea calendar. After which, Mr. Corn, I will take up 2 cases that you have ready, okay? Is there anyone on the Zoom whose name I did not call? All right, is there anyone in the courtroom? I didn't call that gentleman's name. The one in the black jacket. Did I call your name? Okay. Okay, this is position 5 on the Orca A final plea calendar. This is case number 18 CR 002075E, State versus Brendan McCrory. Mr. McCrory's case stems from an August 18, 2016 incident in which he was cited for operating a vehicle with no insurance, unregistered vehicle, failure to have license in person, and following too closely. And Mr. McCrory, you've been advised of your right to remain silent. Your attorney is Mr. McCray, and I kept calling you Mr. McCrory.
That's fine. It's close.
Okay, they were both MCs. Okay, all right. And Ms. Waldrop, are you handling that? Oh, Ms. Githia is handling the side in the prosecution. Mr. McCrory, as part of the plea hearing, may I place you under oath? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right, and just like your attorneys, we don't keep hands in the pockets in court. Thank you. All right, Ms. Githia, what is the plea offer for Mr. McCrory?
For no insurance and following too closely, it is 12 months to serve 26 days. Credit for time served 14 days. The balance is suspended. No additional jail time. And for the unregistered vehicle, operation of vehicle without a current license plate and failure to have license on person, no pros.
Okay. Mr. McCrory, does your client accept these terms?
He does, Your Honor.
And do you stipulate to the factual basis venue and ID?
We do.
Thank you. Mr. McCrory, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol?
No.
And have you understood what's been going on so far?
Yes.
Is anyone forcing you to take this plea today?
No.
And are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes.
In taking this plea, you have to give up your right to go back to court and have a trial, as you are entitled to do so. You will not have the opportunity to confront your accuser, challenge the evidence brought against you, examine witnesses, and have the state, try to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes.
And this was for no insurance and following too closely.
You'd like to plead no contest to the insurance charge?
Yeah, I think they've, any objection, Ms. Githia?
No objection. That's what we agreed to, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. McCray, you determined if there will be a suspension invoked as a result of a NOLO to a no insurance?
No, he's not pled no-low in quite some time.
Okay, no, that's not what I meant. I meant that will DDS suspend his license for the first 6 months to a plea of no insurance?
With a no-low plea, no.
Are you still prepared to go forward?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. McCrory, how do you plead to the one count of no insurance and one count of following too closely?
Guilty. No, look in there. No.
You're pleading no contest to no insurance and no contest to following too closely. This incident occurred in 2016, so yeah, 5 years has lapsed. Okay. Your sentence is 12 months to serve 26 days, credit for time served 14 days. That completes your sentence. There's no, everything else is suspended. The other 2 charges are null prost. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Judge. Can we get a disposition?
Yes, Ms. McRedden will, Ms. Redden, not McRedden. Sorry, that's a slip of the tongue, sorry. What's the date? 20th, right?
Yes.
There we go. All right, Mr. McRae, if you have a seat, Ms. Redden is going to get you a copy, and that concludes the case. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Korn? Ms. Smith? That's for your counsel, right? Stephanie? Oh, it's right. Oh, okay. Are all the PDs outside? Do we have someone who just showed up? Sir, do you have a case with us?
Your Honor, I'm attorney Nicole Jones for Charles Waters.
Charles Waters. I'm sorry, you're counsel for Mr. Waters? Okay, I thought you had PD.
22007220.
Oh, got it. Yes. And your name, please?
Nicole Jones.
And where's Mr. Waters? Oh, that's him?
That's
Okay.
Mr. Waters, yes, ma'am.
And how are we proceeding in your case?
He is to plead today.
Okay. Thank you. Does he have his paperwork ready?
We do not have a copy.
Ms. Githia, position 7, Charles Waters has appeared.
Thank you.
With counsel Nicole Waters. She's in the courtroom. And the announcement was that they're ready to proceed with the plea. Do you have the plea paperwork ready for this case?
My question to her, did she speak with another prosecutor on this case? That was my understanding, that she was speaking with somebody else.
All right, Ms. Waters, if you wouldn't mind coming to the podium, that's the only way you'll be able to communicate on this hybrid proceeding. Thank you.
Did she speak with a Deputy Shelley Falk on this?
I am trying to get the email right now.
Mr. Korn, are we ready?
I have one for you ready. I still have to talk to Mr. May. but
All right,
if you'd like, we can do that.
please,
now.
yeah, please hold so we can do whoever you're ready with. And Ms. Jones,
Yes, ma'am.
and so have you got that email yet?
I think well, I have one email from an Ataki
So
Mbende.
that's with our closed office.
I can go through and see, but I did get an email with an offer on this case.
And what was the offer that was communicated to you?
He would plead guilty to the zigzag count 1, $500, 10 days to serve suspended upon the payment of the $500, and the reckless driving is no pros.
Ms. Githia, are those the terms that you have to offer today?
No, I had count two would merge with, count one.
Okay, so reckless driving with merge and it's $500 fine, to be on probation, but balance suspended if payment is made immediately.
Yes, Your Honor.
Looks like you all are on the same page, technically speaking.
And he has the $500 today.
Okay. And there will be $500 plus the court costs and any surcharges, so it'll be plus.
Okay, well,
Okay. Ms. Githia, if you can have the documents prepared and sent to Ms. Redden, we will have them printed and ready for Mr. Waters' review with his attorney.
Yes, I'll get those right away.
All right, thank you. Ms. Jones, Mr. Waters, if you mind going by that way, that double door is extremely annoying. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Who's the next plea that we're taking up?
I have the paperwork here from Ms. Ashley.
All right.
Yes, this is Judy. Carnegie Judy.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Githia, we're taking up position 2 on the Orca A final plea calendar. Okay, Ms. Ashley, Simone Ashley, you need to be standing right here. Thank you so much. This is 22 CR 003948E, State versus Simone Harrison Ashley, accused of simple assault, domestic violence, and pointing or aiming a gun or pistol at another, stemming from a March 7, 2021 incident in Fulton County, Georgia. Ms. Ashley is present in the courtroom with her attorney, Mr. Lawrence Korn, and representing the state is Ms. Sarita Githia. Ms. Ashley, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Mr. Korn. May I place you under oath for purposes of the plea?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Ms. Githia, what are the terms that the state's offering?
For the simple assault, family violence, and pointing or aiming a gun or pistol at another, for count 1 is 12 months to serve 60 days, credit for time served 60 days, the balance suspended. For count 2, it's 12 months to serve 60 days, concurrent to count 1, the balance is probated, a gun safety class, 1 anger management class, and no contact with the victim, John Terrace Beckham.
Your Honor, if I could just interpose one question, not really a renegotiation or anything like that. We would request no violent contact. They share a child together and they do exchange custody or visitation.
Is that could be between a third party?
Go ahead.
We don't get along with each other's family. I don't really have family to third party her. And his family is violent, so I'd rather not deal with them. As far as third party, I mean, I can have a friend contact him when it's time to get her, like we've been doing.
Ms. Githia?
I am looking, one moment.
Who's representing?
Given the nature of what this, and you're saying, I'm sorry, if I heard Ms. Ashley correct, they currently have someone that's acting as the third party, if that can continue.
Well, he'd still come over and get the child. The other third person wouldn't transport the child. They've been actually doing this for 2 years now. Since this case, I mean, it's been 2 years since the case came up and there's been no issues.
I would need to confirm that first with Mr. Beckham. If we can just revisit it, just give me one moment, Your Honor, on this.
All right, while you are looking into that, position number 3, Carnegie Judy has appeared. And Mr. Judy, please stand up. Who's your attorney?
Michael Barber, he said he's waiting for the Zoom link.
Michael who?
Barber,
Michael Barber.
He's-
Michael Barber has not appeared.
You say he's waiting for the Zoom link? Yes, they both are in the same room as well.
What's Mr. Barber's email?
Can I call them and get the email?
Yeah, so we can send it to him. If you do it outside the courtroom,
Send the thing. Telepathic.
Right.
Michael Barber. Brandon Rosenblum.
They're gonna email them.
Mhm.
Oh, she's probably contacting him right now. The one on the bottom right.
Yes, ma'am. Do you have a case with us?
I do. I do. My name is Taylor Carter.
Taylor,
Taylor Carter.
That's Mike Raffoff's client.
Mr. Who?
Raffoff.
Yeah. Any particular reason why you're showing up 30 minutes past the due time?
I was trying to pay at the thing, and then once I came through the first set of doors, the person down there told me I had to take the elevator to the second one. And I had to come all the way back down and right down to the third, back to the ground.
Take your hands out of your pocket. You begin with, "I'm sorry, I'm late, Judge, but I had problems getting here." That's how you begin. You don't begin with a flippant, defiant response.
Okay.
Your attorney is standing right next to you.
Send the email.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Kapila, any updates?
See.
Oh, okay, I'm moving. Your Honor, just looking at, there was another incident involving both the defendant and the victim, another violent offense. At this moment, the state is not willing to have no further violent contact.
Could you articulate this alleged violent offense?
Yeah, just one second.
We are unaware of any other.
That's why we're gonna hear it. Then we'll see what it is.
He did file a TPO, maybe about this, but maybe she's looking at that.
Let me double check.
I got.
He literally did all my things in blue.
We have an incident from September 18, 2022, 23 CP 215203. Miss Ashley,
Again, she's not aware of
I did it.
anything along those lines.
let's see.
I did it. I was at.
Yeah, but was there a report done?
Yeah,
Whether
that's
an
her picture.
arrest.
Hmm.
A CP number would suggest an arrest. The arrest for assaulting you.
Mm-mm. We haven't been arrested since 2021.
Like it says on the back.
It don't say it.
It does.
All right. I've got a criminal damage to property, 2nd degree.
That's not him.
What?
That's not him.
That's you.
Oh, that's me? Yeah, I know that's not with him though.
So you got a pending felony charge.
I have a pending felony charge.
All right, you better not say anything right now. Mr. Korn, your client has a 20 CR 000035E open state court case for disorderly conduct.
Judge, we have no idea what that's all about.
I'm just, this is FYI. This is from December 27, 2019. Simone Harrison Ashley.
I guess your name.
She's got a bond forfeiture. This was back in March of 24th, 2021.
To resolve the case.
That's this whole case.
I see a
Morning,
motion
Judge Law. How
filed.
you doing? I got my
No,
report.
it's not the sole case.
So when I got locked up, I had a FTA for a warrant.
Yeah. but
At the same time, I got.
Attorney is Timothy McCallum.
Mhm.
Who's that?
The attorney that was over this case.
All right, let me just give you these case numbers,
All right.
Mr. 20 CR 000035E. Mr. Barber, I'll be with you very shortly.
Thank you, Judge.
20 CR.
I apologize for my tardiness.
No worries. Accused of disorderly conduct from incident date of December 27, 2019. That case is still open. I don't know if that's a pending FTA warrant. Don't see one, but
She was arrested on that case when she was arrested on this case, Judge.
Okay,
the
that's still
computer
an
should
open case.
involve her.
I'm just letting you know where I'm going with this.
I know, but I'm saying that I don't think that's up to date. I don't think that's
Okay.
right.
Next one is 21 CP 198154. Aggravated assault, domestic violence, and reckless conduct.
We believe that's this case, Judge. It was originally charged as a felony aggravated assault and it was reduced.
Okay,
Good
Fine.
morning, Judge Law. How you doing? I'm
Fine,
sorry
thank
to
you.
interrupt. I just spoke to the victim in Miss Ashley case, and I have him on the phone right now. And what she's stating is incorrect. The victim stated that when he tries to pick up his child, it's conflict between them, and she's stating incorrect information in front of you. So,
thank you.
yes, ma'am.
Every weekend.
And then we have the criminal damage to property. All right, Ms. Githia, there is a request to amend the no further contact to no further violent contact,
We're going to withdraw that request, Judge.
right? Ms. Clemens,
This is an order that says differently.
Yes, ma'am.
please advise the alleged victim, John Terrace Beckham, that she has a no contact order against her with respect to him.
Okay.
So he cannot engage in any kind of in-person or phone or communication with her in any way, form, or manner.
Okay.
The only exception is when they had a third party who will come and pick up their child for him to visit and see. But he cannot go over and pick the child up. She has to stay 200 yards away from her. And if he goes and visits her, that's to his detriment,
Okay,
because I don't have an order against him.
yes, ma'am.
Are we proceeding with the plea, Mr. Corn?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Githia, maybe resume with the, I'm sorry, I was in your side. Mr. Corn, that was the state's offer, no further contact with John Terrace Beckham.
Yes.
If your client still want to move forward with the plea,
Yes, Your Honor.
she's nodding her head. And Mr. Corn, does your client stipulate to the factual basis, venue and ID for the charges here?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Simone, her full name is Simone Ashley,
Simone Harrison Ashley.
Simone Harrison Ashley.
Is Harrison, right?
Miss Ashley, looking at your criminal cases that are open, that is not a very pleasant thing to see. Not for you and not for me, especially when you're taking a plea and you're telling me you have a child.
Yeah.
So that's not very pleasant. And I have the discretion to not accept this plea and make you go to trial. But it's really up to you, right, at this point. You have open cases, and with the advice of counsel, you're moving forward with this plea, and I'm willing to go forward with this. But if you have any contact at all with Mr. Beckham and law enforcement gets involved from this point onwards, I'm going to authorize probation to revoke your probation and have you serve the rest of the year in prison. So any time, the quality time that you intend to spend with your family, with your child, that goes out the window.
So Judge, to be clear,
In a minute, in a minute. Do you understand what I am saying?
That's fair.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Corn.
are you saying that if he comes over to her house, the police gets called, even if she's the one who calls them, she's gonna be revoked? Is that what you're?
May I repeat, may I explain that?
I wish you would, please.
If he comes over to the house and she opens the door to let him in and she calls the cops, then we have a problem. If he comes over to the house and she does not let him in, keeps the door shut and calls the cops, then we do not have a problem. If, in response to your hypothetical.
Thank you.
Miss Ashley, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
And have you understood the proceedings so far?
Ma'am.
Have you understood my admonition with regards to this sentence if I impose it today?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Is anyone forcing you or inducing you to take this plea today?
No, ma'am.
In taking this plea, you would have to give up your constitutional right to go back to court, to have a trial, to be able to confront your accuser, to have the assistance of counsel so you can challenge the evidence brought against you. Do you have the choice of presenting any defenses? You will not be able to do so. And to have the state try to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
You're under oath. Do you own or possess a firearm today?
No, ma'am.
You're not allowed to possess or own a firearm. Any items that you possess must be surrendered to the authorities for destruction.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to one count of simple assault, family violence?
I plead guilty.
How do you plead to one count of pointing or aiming a gun or pistol at another?
Plead guilty.
On the simple assault, family violence is 12 months to serve 60 days, credit for time served 60 days. The remainder of the 10 months is suspended. For count 2, pointing or aiming a gun or pistol at another, it's 12 months, served 60 days, credit for time served 60 days, balance probated. You will report to probation next Thursday, and that would be at 132 Mitchell Street in downtown Atlanta. You must report to the probation office before 3 p.m. Not at 3 p.m., not at 3:30 p.m., before 3 p.m. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
In addition to reporting to probation, while you're on probation, you will attend and complete one gun safety class within 60 days of starting probation. You will complete one anger management class within 60 days of starting probation. You shall have no contact with Jontarius Beckham, with the exception of phone communication and only for the purpose of arranging custody and visitation. Do you understand?
Yes, so we can talk on the phone.
If you have to talk with him with regards to setting up visitation and custody, but
Okay.
you can't call him up to ask him to pick up a bag of sugar or something like that for you. Do you understand?
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
allowing you that minimal contact,
Okay,
all right? But there has to be a third party who has to pick up the child or children and bring them to Mr. Beckham and to return them to you. Mr. Beckham is not going to have to come to your place to pick up the children or anything to that effect.
Yes,
And if he doesn't return the children on time, you do not go to him. You call the authorities.
okay.
Now, has he filed a legitimation action?
When I was incarcerated, he filed a TPO.
Okay,
No.
your attorney will explain. A legitimation action is one where the father files a case in superior court to declare himself as the father legally and to get a court order so that he has visitation and custody set by a court order.
Oh,
Has he done that?
No, ma'am.
Well, he can do that
Mhm.
because right now you have the exclusive custody and visiting of the child. You have the absolute right to not have Mr. Beckham see the child at all.
Yes, ma'am.
So just to let you know, if you want to find out what legitimation is, you're going to report to probation every month. There will be no early termination. There will be no non-reporting.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else you'd like to ask,
No, ma'am.
Mr. Corn?
No, Your Honor.
That concludes this case.
Thank you.
That's great.
Mr. Corn, if you want to get ready for your next plea, I'm going to address a couple before.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge, sorry. Just to be clear, my victim stated that the conflict only come into play
Okay.
sometimes when the defendant won't let him see his child. So he do want to make that.
Let him know what legitimation's all about.
Yes, ma'am.
Or if he appears on Zoom, I'll be glad to tell him that too. Ms. Jones or Mr. Waters, please. Mr. Barber, your client, Carnegie Judy, am I pronouncing that name right?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Carnegie Judy is in the courtroom. How would we like to proceed?
Well, originally, I don't know if you remember this case, Judge, and I do know you have really good memory. So this was supposed to be part of a global plea. He has actually two cases. He entered his plea on the first one, but we couldn't get, I don't know what happened, but we couldn't get him on your calendar from the jail for some reason. So that's why we're appearing today to get the second case, and it's all supposed to go to DUI court in Cobb County, is my understanding.
Okay, I have case end 22 CR ending in 7179. What other cases did he have that he still needs to resolve?
Well, he did resolve the other case already.
Okay,
Serves the 15 days, and that's why there's minor. I don't know if Solicitor Riley left any notes for Solicitor Thayer or not.
Right, what happened, it was supposed to have been part of the global resolution with the DUI court, but it wasn't part of it. The DUI case was resolved in January. So that one just left this one, it wasn't resolved in there. So,
all right. So what's this plea offer for Mr. Judy today?
for count 1 is 10 days in jail, suspended upon the payment of $500. Count 2 merges with count 3. Count 3 is 10 days in jail, suspended upon the payment of $500. And count 4 merges into count 3.
That's what I have as well.
All right. And so it's a total of $1,000 fine?
Yes.
I believe that's correct, Your Honor.
So is that what your client has agreed to, Mr. Barber?
That was what we discussed prior. I'm obviously not there to ask him if he still wants to do that.
Okay. Do you have this number?
I do.
Okay, why did you give him a call? He's going to step outside and he's going to wait for your call. And if he decides to take this plea, Ms. Githia will draft the plea paperwork and you can go over it with him. And we can also email a copy to you. And we can do the plea over Zoom
Not a problem, Your Honor.
with him in the courtroom. All right.
I can do that right now.
Mr. Judy, if you'll step outside, your attorney is going to talk to you about this plea offer. Ms. Githia, you may want to have the plea paperwork that you put on your to-do list also for this morning if they proceed.
Yes,
Thank
Your
you.
Honor.
All right. This is position 7 on the Orca A final plea calendar, State versus Charles Waters. Mr. Waters' case number is 22 CR 007220. Mr. Waters was accused of driving a circular or zigzag course, in other words, lane drag, and also reckless driving. This stems from an October 28, 2020 incident. Mr. Waters, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say in open court about the facts of the case, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one could be appointed to represent you, but you're represented by Ms. Jones, so that's moot. Mr. Waters, for purpose, is this a negotiated plea, right?
It's negotiated only up to the point that I think there's non-negotiating on the NOLO part of the plea.
On the what?
NOLO, he would like to plead NOLO, and I believe that the state is objecting.
Okay, so with respect to this case, we're going to first have Ms. Githia identify the plea offer again. I believe it was the reckless driving was going to merge into lane drag, and it was a $500 fine, balance suspended and there's no probation if he pays the fine today, and the state's only accepting a guilty plea. Would that be correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, and Ms. Jones, what is for a NOLO plea?
He is entitled to a NOLO, Your Honor. He has not used NOLO previously. The issue was in the video and seeing it, it was like 30 seconds. It wasn't too long on the lane if there was saying lane of the drag. And we believe that he is actually entitled to, and he believes that this is in his best interest to get this resolved today. So we are asking that he gets to plead NOLO on this situation.
All right. Anything else, Ms. Githia? Why are you seeking a guilty plea?
Your Honor, in addition to, in addition to this incident that happened in 2020, Mr. Waters also has a following too closely that happened a few days after that on November 2nd, 2020. These are, too close in time driving offenses. And on those grounds, the state does not agree to the NOLO.
All right. This court has the discretion to consider both options and decide which option the court's going to go with. The court also has the discretion to disregard either option. The court's willing to accept a NOLO contemporary plea as long as Mr. Waters reports to probation and completes a defensive driving program and 50 hours community service. Probation will terminate upon payment of the fine, community service, and defensive driving.
No, you want to do guilty? Yes. Okay. He's going to go ahead and enter in a guilty plea, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Waters, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Waters, have you, Ms. Jones, do you stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Waters, do you, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
And have you understood the proceedings so far?
Yes, ma'am.
And is anyone forcing you to take this plea offer today?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
And if has it been explained to you that in taking this plea today, that you would be giving up your opportunity to go back to court and have a trial in front of a judge or a jury to confront your accuser, examine witnesses, challenge the evidence brought against you, and have the state try to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Ma'am.
You're prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you entering this plea freely, willingly, and knowingly?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to one count of lane drag?
Guilty.
Accept your guilty plea. Your sentence is 12 months, a $500 fine, balance suspended if the fine is paid today. And Ms. Redden, will you be giving him the information on where to pay the fine? Count two will merge into count one. Thank you, Ms. Jones. Mr. Waters?
Thank you, Your Honor.
And can we get a disposition and be
Definitely.
excused?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Barber, have you spoken to your client?
He is going to accept the plea agreement, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Githia, you will need to submit the plea paperwork. You can direct a copy to Mr. Barber and one copy to Ms. Redden. And we'll make sure Mr. Judy has it over with his attorney.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm working on it now.
Thank you. Mr. Corn is here? Still talking to? Mr. Corn still talking to? I thought he had one more plea, position number 4, Derek May.
Yeah, that's Larry Corn.
He must be outside.
He must be with a client out.
Okay, well, that's okay. If he's talking, then, Mr. Ruffo?
On Taylor Carter,
Yeah,
the motion, we have a resolution. I don't know if the state wants a compliance day.
you may have to speak. Oh,
No.
is this the answer you, Ms. Waldrop? Are you the one? Okay, then
Yes,
that's
Your Honor,
fine.
she is going to complete one class, so I think a reset to a status calendar, maybe 30 days out, should give plenty of time to complete that class, and it'll be no cost upon completion.
I'm going to reset it to, what class is this?
The law and decision-making class through our diversion program.
Okay. Can we do it on May 18th? Okay. Reset May 18th. Oh, shit, I can't do, it has to be May 17th. I have a motions calendar at 9 AM. I can address it then for compliance. And does she know where to take the class?
Your Honor, she's filled out the diversion paperwork, so our program will contact both her and copy Mr. Ruffo.
So today is the 20th, so that gives you almost 1 month to complete the class.
You said it's due on May 17th, so.
You have to be back in court on May 17th.
I have it done by that court date.
You have to have it done. You have to be in court by 9 AM, not 9:01. And you have to bring your certificate with the proof that you completed the class. Take your hands out of the pocket.
Okay, and if whoever they're saying doesn't contact me in a reasonable time, what do I do?
You need to contact your attorney within the next 7 days. All right. Reset to May 17th at 9 AM. I expect the class to be done. And Ms. Waldrop, you've already seen the attitude I'm dealing with. You please make sure you get the paperwork in. Thank you. All right, Ms. Carter, you're free to go. Thank you. For compliance. All right. Mr. Gaither, have you had your conversation with Ms. Githia?
Not yet. And it looks like she's swamped with work, Judge. As soon as she can break away, and I understand she has pleas and everything she's trying to prepare for.
Okay.
I'm almost done with this paperwork, Your Honor. Then I can call Mr. Gaither.
Okay.
Does it have to be in person first, or if they got it online? One client.
Is this a way we can reach Mr. Korn? See where he is? Need an update on this, we already take Ms. Well, Ms. Githia is still available. Please, Mr. Rocco, thank you, sir.
Gonna check with Mr. Corn.
All right, is there anyone who's appeared on Zoom whom I've not called? An attorney or a defendant? All right. We'll be in recess until Ms. Gipia has sent the plea paperwork. And then we can take up Mr. Barber's client, Mr. Judy, which is position number 3. And then we have a plea for, hopefully Mr. Korn will be back also to address Derek May. So we'll be in recess until we're ready to address those pleas. Thank you. Give me 1 second, hold on. Ms. Gilliard, would you be available to address a plea for position number 4, State versus Derek May?
Yes, Your Honor, and if I can just get one more minute and then I can.
All right. You heard her.
I'm here
1
whenever
minute.
you're ready.
Y'all can have a seat in the gallery or,
Go for it.
okay.
Judge, I have heard from Mr. Wilburn. He is on his way.
Okay,
I don't know when he's going to get here.
I'm here at 1:30 also.
I would probably prefer not to be.
Well,
I'm trying to leave town.
do what I do. Put my eyebrows together and give a really stern look. Okay. You need to let him know that you don't want to stay here till 1:30, so he needs to be here faster.
Right.
And Your Honor, which position was it that you were ready for?
It's position 4, Derek May. Mr. Korn is ready to move forward with the plea.
Okay. I am ready, Your Honor.
Okay. Plea paperwork sent in?
I gave it to the.
No, not for you, sorry. The plea paperwork from Mr. Judy and who's the other one we're waiting on? Was that the only one we're waiting on?
Plea paperwork has been sent in for Mr. Judy. Did you receive it, Mr. Rosenblum?
This is Attorney Mike Barber. I have not received anything yet. Did you send it to Brandon instead?
Barbara hold on.
Send a copy to Miss Redden as well.
Yes.
All right, so Ms. Githia, yeah, please facilitate that on Ms. Rotten. Why don't you send her a hello email and that way she will.
I just forwarded it to Ms. Redden.
I just put my email in the chat.
All right, we are addressing State versus Derek May, Derek with 1 R, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. MAY, is the last name, 19 CR 007-859E. Mr. May was accused of battery, family violence, criminal trespass, one more count of battery, family violence, and 2 additional counts of criminal trespass. So in total, that's 2 counts of battery, family violence, and 3 counts of criminal trespass stemming from a September 22nd, 2017 incident. Mr. May is present in the courtroom. Mr. May, just to reiterate, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say about the facts of the case, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney, and representing you is Mr. Larry Korn from the Public Defender's Office. Representing the state will be Ms. Sarita Githia. This is going to be a plea hearing. May I place you under oath? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Ms. Githia, what is the plea offer for Mr. May?
For the battery, family violence, two counts of battery, family violence, and 3 counts of criminal trespass. It is 12 months to serve 10 days, credit for time served 10 days. The balance is probated, family violence intervention program, 40 hours of community service, and no contact with the victim, Tiana Williams.
Tiana Williams?
Yes. TYNTIANNA.
Mr. May, excuse me, Mr. Korn, does your client accept these terms?
He does, Your Honor.
And do you stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID for these 5 charges?
We would so stipulate.
All right. And Mr. May, have you consumed any medication or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
And have you understood what's been going on so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
And is anyone forcing you or inducing you to take this plea today?
Oh, ma'am.
Has it been explained to you that if you plead guilty and I accept the guilty plea to battery, family violence, that will be on your record?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you get arrested for battery, family violence in the future, I'm not saying it'll happen, but if there's another charge, it will automatically be a felony charge. Has that been explained to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you still willing to enter this plea freely, willingly, and knowingly?
Yes, ma'am.
Has it been explained to you that in taking this plea that you have to indicate to me that you are willing to give up your constitutional right to go back to court, to have a trial in front of a judge or a jury, to challenge the state's evidence, examine witnesses, confront your accuser, and have the state carry its burden to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt? And you're still willing to go forward with this plea?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to 2 counts of battery, family violence, and 3 separate counts of criminal trespass?
Guilty.
Repeat.
Guilty.
Your sentence for these 5 charges are concurrent, and it is 12 months to serve 10 days, credit for time served 10 days, balance probated. You will have to report to the probation office next Thursday at 132 Mitchell Street in downtown Atlanta. You must report before 3 p.m.
Okay.
While you're on probation, you will complete a domestic violence intervention program. Those classes must begin within 60 days from today. You will complete 40 hours of community service at any nonprofit agency, and you must bring a letter from the supervisor showing that you've completed at least 40 hours. And you have the rest of the 12 months to complete that.
Okay.
You are to have no contact with Tiana Williams, which means that you stay 200 yards away from her. You do not communicate with her in person through a third party, through a phone, computer device, or even on social media. Do you have any questions about this sentence?
No, ma'am.
That concludes this case. Thank you.
Your Honor, I do have just one request on
Sure.
this. Mr. May has been homeless since this happened in September of 2017. We would ask that the court consider waiving the supervisory fees.
Where has he been living?
Couch surfing, Judge, going from friend to friend. He hasn't seen his name Tatiana Williams since this occurred, but he's been living pretty much hand to foot.
Where do you receive your mail?
My dad's address
We'll need that address.
is Milledgeville, Georgia.
What?
It's in Milledgeville.
Milledgeville.
Well, how do you get your mail then?
He bring it to me.
Well, then that's what we have to do. If probation or court needs to contact you and we don't have an address, do we have an email? Do we have a phone number?
That's a phone number. Phone number.
Okay, we'll still need that too. But will you be able to report to probation next week?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I will waive your probation fees for 6 months. But you need to get yourself a job, get yourself situated.
Okay.
And then you'll be reporting for the rest of the 12 months.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Korn, you will need to get his mailing address and then his phone number. Ms. Redden, any progress in that plea paperwork? Okay. Can you print a copy for Mr. Judy so that he can step outside and talk to his attorney? All right, Mr. Barber, I believe you should have the paperwork. We're getting a copy from Mr. Judy and he's going to be calling you from the hallway.
I just got off the phone with him. Yes, Your Honor. He's
Okay,
get it and call me back.
okay, thank you. We'll be in recess until we are ready to address Mr. Judy's case. Thank you. Ready? Thank you. Ms. Githia?
Yeah, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, this is State of Georgia. This is position 3 on our calendar. State of Georgia versus Carnegie. Carnegy. Last name Judy, Jeudy. Mr. Judy is present in the courtroom in courtroom G33. His attorney, Mr. Michael Barber, is appearing at these proceedings via Zoom, as well as the prosecutor, Mr. Rita Githia. Mr. Judy, this particular case, 22 CR 7179, is one in which you've been accused of driving while license suspended or revoked, reckless driving, lane drag, and improper passing on right, stemming from a September 12, 2020 incident. You've been advised of your right to remain silent. Your attorney is Mr. Barber. This is going to be, I believe, a negotiated plea. Ms. Githia, are you accepting a nolo contendere of the plea?
The reason
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So this is going to be a nolo contendere. All right, just wanted to confirm that. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Judy, for purposes of the plea, may I place you under oath?
Ma'am.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Ms. Githia, what's the plea offer?
Counts 1 is 10 days in jail suspended upon the payment of $500. Count 2 merges into count 3. Count 3 is 10 days in jail suspended upon the payment of $500. Count 4 merges into count 3.
All right. So the total is $1,000 fine, and it will be nolo contendere to lane drag. Mr. Barber, is your client also pleading no contest to driving while license suspended?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And do you, Mr. Barber, stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID for both these charges?
We will so stipulate, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Judy, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
Oh, ma'am.
And have you understood the proceedings so far?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
And in taking this plea offer, has your attorney explained to you as you've gone over these documents that you would be giving up your right to a trial, to be able to have your attorney assist you during the course of the trial, to confront your accuser, examine witnesses, challenge the state's evidence, present any defenses if you choose to do so, and have the state carry its burden to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt? Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you entering this plea of nolo contendere or no contest to driving while license suspended, revoked, and lane drag freely, willingly, and knowingly?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And so how do you plead to these two charges?
Oh, no. No.
No. Okay. Alex, so it's a nolo plea to driving while license suspended, and the reckless driving will merge into lane drag, and the improper passing on the right is going to merge into lane drag, and it will be a second nolo plea to 1 count of lane drag. So the sentence for the driving while license suspended is 12 months, balance suspended if the $500 fine plus costs are paid today.
Okay.
And the sentence for lane drag is 12 months suspended if the additional $500 fine plus costs are paid today. Are you prepared to pay it today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If you'll have a seat, we will make sure you get to the right location to pay the cost. Anything else, Mr. Barber?
I believe that's all I have on your calendar today, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Barber, do you give me permission to sign off on this plea sheet?
I give you express permission.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing that for me.
All right, no problem. All right, so Mr. Barber, good to see you. You have a good day. Your client's in the courtroom. He'll be directed to where to go to pay. And if you'd like to wait further, we'll make sure he gets a copy of the disposition.
That would be fantastic. And Mr. Judy, if you could please call the office once you've completed everything, so we know you're out, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Thank you. All right, Mr. Judy, if you have a seat, we'll make sure you get the paperwork and the directions as well. All right, that leaves Mr. Anderson's case, position number 1. Any announcement?
There was, I think we're just waiting on Ms. Gethier to review 1 or 2 more issues, and then we should be able to wrap it up, Judge.
All right. Ms. Githia, we are addressing position number 1. Ms. Waldrop has sent you some information. She's been acting as the liaison between Mr. Gaither and you.
I'm so grateful for.
Okay.
Me too.
I just responded to, yeah, I'm just checking to see if he's eligible for first offender. It looks like he is.
All right. Ms. Waldrop, while Ms. Githia is going over the verification for Mr. Anderson, I just want to go over the morning calendar with you.
Oh, before we go back, Ms. Gethier, on the, well, yeah, because this is those, on the actual accusation, instead of battery, family violence, it probably should just be battery, because family violence doesn't fit this case. They didn't have that type of relationship.
Yeah, that would need to be amended. I can amend that.
Okay.
Okay. Ms. Gaither or Mr. Corn, if you want to go over the calendar, either one who's available. Okay. Position 1 on the Orca A final plea calendar. Mr. Anderson, we are holding for announcement. Position number 2, Ashley was a plea. Position 3, Judy was a plea. Position 4, May was a plea. Position 5, McCory was a plea. Position 6, jury trial demand, case management order to issue. This one is further notice for jury trial. Position 7, Waters was a plea. Position 8, Anthony Wilburn, we're still holding for him to appear.
Yes, please.
All right. The note is that he may show up by 1:30. Hopefully, council's still with us. Okay. Position 9, Woodard was a null cross. On the Orca A motions calendar, Jordan Randall was null cross. And on the Orca B motions calendar, Taylor Carter is reset to May 17th at 9 a.m. for compliance with pretrial diversion. And Ms. Waldrop will make sure that we get the diversion paperwork to Mr. Ruffle ASAP. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Your Honor, Ralph and his client did complete the paperwork. I'm gonna get it to our diversion department.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, we'll be in recess until we're ready to address Mr. Anderson and Mr. Wilburn. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Githia, any progress with the Anderson case?
The plea paperwork has been sent to Mr. Gaither.
Oh, he's outside? Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Githia, we're about to address a plea hearing with position one.
Okay, I'm ready.
Thank you. This is State of Georgia versus Tawaski Anderson, is that correct? Okay. Case number 21 CR 002136E. Mr. Tawaski Montreal Anderson is present in the courtroom and with his attorney, Mr. Frank Gaither with the Public Defender's Office, and the prosecutor, Ms. Aretha Gaither, is appearing by Zoom. This is a negotiated plea hearing in which Mr. Anderson has been accused of 1 count of battery. And this is going to be a plea of a guilty plea under the First Offender Act. Mr. Anderson, you've been advised of your right to remain silent. Your attorney is Mr. Gaither. And may I place you under oath for purposes of the plea? Do you solemnly swear and affirm that testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Ms. Githia, what's the plea offer?
Oh, and right before I say that, Your Honor, I can't see in the galley, is Miss Pitts there, the victim? Because it's
Yeah,
not.
she is.
You want to make an
She is.
impact statement. Okay.
All right.
The offer is for battery. It's 12 months to serve 2 days, credit for time served 2 days, balance probated, 1 anger management class, $400 restitution to Miss Pitts, and no contact with her, with Sherry Pitts.
No contact?
Correct, no contact.
All right. I've got further notes on the plea sheet. I think Mr. Gaither may have added this.
Yeah.
Presentation, probation, non-reporting after anger management course completion, and restitution paid. Is that correct?
That's
Correct.
correct.
Okay, and Ms. Githia, you agree to that?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Gaither, anything else to add with regards to the terms?
Nothing with regard to the terms. We do stipulate to identity.
Venue and factual basis?
Exactly, Judge. And we just had one question regarding procedure. Mr. Anderson lives in California because he did attend via Zoom. And he's now working in North Dakota and he's leaving out tomorrow. So here's the question. Can he report or talk to probation today? Or what's the best way for him to get in contact with probation? To at least sign up and everything else.
Okay. Typically, we have to get the disposition to probation first, and then they need to set up a case file.
Sure.
And then from there, they will set up a program so that he may report telephonically.
Okay.
Right? The problem is that since he's leaving tomorrow, I don't know whether he'll have adequate time to set it up with probation. We can try to give him the disposition paperwork today, and we can go down to probation at 132 Mitchell Street and see if they can expedite it. There's no guarantee they can. But he can also get information from the probation office on how he can communicate with them by next Thursday. And I will allow for telephonic reporting.
Okay, thank you, Jerry. You heard that?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Over here? Yeah. All right. Mr. Anderson, have you consumed any medication or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
And have you understood the proceedings so far?
Yes, ma'am.
And has anyone forced you or induced you to take this plea offer today?
No, ma'am.
Take your hands out of your pocket. And I'm telling you, we're gonna have clothes with no pockets. I mean,
I think that's like the third time I've probably heard you say that today, Judge.
Okay, all right. And as I was saying, are you satisfied with the representation of your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
If you decide to take this plea offer today, you would have to give up your constitutional right to ever challenge these charges in the court of law through a trial. You'll not be able to confront your accuser, challenge the evidence presented against you, examine witnesses, and have the state carry its burden to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to one count of battery
I plead guilty.
under the First Offender Act?
The first offender.
All right. You would have to complete the terms of your probation. And if you complete the conditions, then your probation will be non-reporting. That means your probation is going to be for 12 months. You have to make sure that you do not violate the conditions and you do not get arrested during the next 12 months. Otherwise, the protections afforded under the First Offender Act will be revoked.
Okay.
You understand? Your sentence for the battery is 12 months, serve 2 days, credit for time served 2 days. As I indicated, you will be on probation. You will have to report to probation telephonically. As I've already indicated, you can take the paperwork to probation today and see if they will either expedite it or at least put it on alert that you are allowed telephonic reporting, and then you'll be required to report to probation and the date and the time that probation sets for you.
Okay.
Understood? While you're on probation, you will also complete one anger management class at any qualified school in the state in which you live, and you must provide proof of that completion to your probation officer as how they instruct you to provide it, whether by mail, by email, or whether it comes directly from the school to probation, okay? You need to pay a $400 restitution. How soon can you pay this off?
If I'll pay before the month out.
Repeat?
Can I pay within the next 30 days?
All right. The $400 restitution must be paid and it must be directed to your probation officer, and that payment must be made within the next 90 days from today.
Okay.
Oh, so that's another question I had then, Judge. I was prepared for him to send it to me, but if he can pay it directly to probation, that'd be fine too.
Well, typically restitution is directed to the probation officer, and then they remit it directly to the victim.
Perfect. Okay, yes,
Okay.
now just send it to
Ms.
probation.
Pitts, are you under that understanding that the restitution of $400 will be sent to you from the probation officer? Yes, ma'am. Thank you. As I said, no contact with Ms. Pitts. You have to stay after today. After you walk out this courtroom, you have to stay 200 yards away from Ms. Pitts. You're not to communicate with her in person, not through a third party, not through a phone, a computer device, and you're not to try to reach her through social media or discuss her on social media. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Your probation will be non-reporting only after probation has received proof that you've completed the anger management course. Now, remember, it has to be a program that's qualified by probation,
Okay.
not any willy-nilly program.
Okay.
And that probation confirms that all restitution has been paid off.
Okay.
All right. As indicated, it will be telephonic reporting only. If you change your address, you need to let probation know immediately where you are, where you're living, whether it's a different state or a different location. Understood? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? Ms. Pitts, do you have anything else to add? Ms. Waldrop, does Ms. Pitts want to add anything?
Hi, everybody.
Hey,
Where you want me to stand, right
You
here?
come, no, you can come here. You come,
All right.
no, no.
I appreciate everyone's time this morning. Right here.
yes.
Hi. Yes, I'm Miss Pitts. I apologize that we all had to be here for this situation this morning because I'm a mother and I'm a grandmother. I'm also a mother of a deceased child. The thing is, when this is like an accident, a car accident, and whatever injuries you get from that accident, it's time consuming with your injuries based on what type of injuries that you had. Unfortunately, this was a bad injury that lasted a little longer than it should have because the wounds were so sensitive. I just want, today and these days and times, we're dealing with different children. I have these kind of children. I have these kind of grandchildren, and they all have to learn mistakes. You make them, but there's consequences. And we want you to learn from the consequences and have that full remorse from it, not just speak it action-wise, because you don't know the effect of what you do to a person, how bad that effect is on that person. I love Tabaski. That's my daughter's friend. I want no harm to him. And that's a mother. She wants no harm to no one. That's the type of mother that I am. And I just want to thank y'all. I just hate that I'm here for this. I want us to do better. And I thank you all for giving him a chance and giving us a chance. Okay? Have a nice day.
Ms. Pitts, thank you very much for
ma'am.
those words. They resonate with
Yes,
everyone.
ma'am.
Thank you.
So, thank you.
All right.
All right.
You're actually free to go unless you need to stay. Thank you.
I have a blessed day.
You too. Thank you. All right, Mr. Anderson, please wait a moment while we get all the documents for you. All right. Put a lot of instructions at the bottom. Let's see if that works. Okay, thank you. Ms. Githea, the only case that remains is Mr. Wilburn. We've completed all the other cases. I'm giving Mr. Korn till our 1:30 calendar for Mr. Wilburn to appear. He reported to Mr. Korn that around 9:30 that he was on the way, but any word yet, Mr. Korn?
No.
All right. So we'll need for him to appear before I consider a bench warrant. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sorry, Mr. Korn, I know you had travel plans, so is there someone who can cover for you?
I'll see.
Okay, thank you.